set to happen at the end of it, ambiguous statements being made, and you look at it, as it yesterday when we talked about it, was basically all about a technical crew. And now...
Yeah, because the statement read the management, staff, and the technical crew of the club. Absolutely. And the technical crew definitely includes Finidi George and his backroom staff.
Well, but something is still considered in this, Mari.
Yeah.
Now they've come out to say Finidi George is still part of that coach. What about the technical crew? What about the assistant coaches? What about the rest of them? Because if we're talking about probably the contract terms before the sacking, question is, what about all these ones in that contract terms? So for me, defending doesn't really make sense. Maybe it makes sense from a relationship point of view, and a coach that is assistant coach for the Super Eagles of Nigeria.
Yesterday it raised loads of eyebrows as to Nwankwo Kanu sacking his teammate at Ajax, teammate at the national team, and all of that.
Senior teammates.
Well, do we really have to bring that senior thing to the conversation?
Well, it's part of the conversation in football. Look at how Finidi George started even at Ajax. Finidi George was the top player before Kano came in at the time. And you look at the hierarchical drive that's been happening in the Super Eagles. That's why we're still having Ahmed Musa as the captain of the national team now.
But now, I don't want us to drag a different conversation, but we're talking about this is a different ball game entirely. You were my senior at the national team, understood. You began playing football before me, understood. You were a top player before I became even a football player, understood. But this is a different ball game, and I'm the chairman of the club. You're the coach, and according to the hierarchy, I'm higher than you are.
According to what I'm saying, I think it's very relevant. Being a senior or whatever it is, a senior colleague or a senior coach or a senior team member, it's irrelevant. This is Kanu's time. He's the chairman of the club, and he makes the policies.
We're saying this because maybe tomorrow Kanu decides to sack Finidi George. There shouldn't be any problem.
We are saying that this is coming from the Abia State government itself. The Abia State government is in charge of the Yimba Football Club, and whatever policies they pass through goes through Kanu, and of course he has the right to put the policy through to anyone, irrespective of wherever you are. The coach is definitely not bigger than the chairman. Neither are the players. Neither are the technical staffs. So of course, I think him being a senior player in Ajax or was Kaida he used to wear with on, all those years are over. all those years are over.
Not to disagree to it, we all agree to that fact, but the reason we brought that in was basically because without that it wouldn't have brought eyebrows. That's basically
I think he has done well this first year. Of course, he has won the league. So I think of course it doesn't really mean that he deserves to be there. Doesn't really mean that he's won it, no problem. But then, of course, you have to check out the qualifications. You have to know who you're working with. You have to know what is happening with your company.
All right, so let's move on and talk about something else. By the way, we hear that Remo Stars coach, the man Dan Lugumade, has been fined 250,000 naira by the Nigerian Super 8 organizers for inappropriate conduct in the final match of the tournament on Sunday at the Mobolaji Johnson Stadium in Lagos. And of course, this was disclosed in a statement by the organizers. And Monday, yesterday, the coach, Gummadede, ordered his players to go off the pitch after a decision by the referee did not go to his favor. Well, the players, however, ignored the order and continued the match, which they lost 4-2 on penalties after a 1-1 draw in regulation. And we're not going to dwell on that. It's for the organizers and Dan Lugummadede. But let's talk about something else, Blyden. Former Togo, former Arsenal, former Manchester City, former Real Madrid, former Tottenham man, Emmanuel Adebayo, sadly, Togo, has said that Victor Osimhen should win the 2023 African Player of the Year award. Osimhen played a pivotal role in Napoli, winning the first league title in over 3 decades, scoring 26 goals and adding 5 assists as they were crowned champions of Italy. He's 24, and of course his performance last season has placed him as one of the favorites for the award. And according to the permutations, only 2 players have come through, as contenders. City's Riyad Mahrez and Sevilla's Yusuf Nesri, as well as Yasin Bono of Sevilla as well. Well, Victor Osimhen is obviously the all-time favorite for this one, Blind. What are the permutations?
I think he's favorite, but based on that permutation you've given Mari, I do not agree for the likes of Riyad Mahrez being part of that mix. Barely did anything last season. Yes, Manchester City won the Champions League. If you have to put Mahrez there, then you have to talk about Andre Onana. Quite decent, a ball-playing goalkeeper, and many are chasing now Manchester United.
If you talk about Onana, then talk about the Cameroonian man, Frank Zamboanguissa.
Absolutely. So it's been a conversation for me between the Cameroonians, the Moroccans, as well as the Nigerians. But top of the list as a Nigerian and a neutral of football would be Victor Osimhen. Here's why, Mario. Last season, he became the highest goal scorer in the Italian Serie A, helping Napoli win the Scudetto. And you look at history, no African players done that in the history of football. Samuel Eto'o couldn't do it. George Ogbonwe, the great African Liberian, couldn't do it. And this man, Victor Osimhen, did it. Absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
I give it to him.
Now,
talk about all the flowers you give.
Yes.
This is my first time I'm giving the flowers to Victor Osimhen.
Nice one. Now, is there any stiff competition? I mean, stern competition to Osimhen's CAF Best Player of the Year award this year?
In Europe, no. I don't know in Africa, but in Europe, from what we've seen in the top 5 leagues, I don't think we've seen anyone who had a very impressive season the way Osimhen had last season.
Yasin Bono, Sevilla, Europa League. Yusuf Nesri, Europa League, Sevilla.
I don't think I don't think those people, they had much impact.
Bono started all of the games, saved a few penalties in the semi-finals.
Well, it's Europa League. I can't remember the last time Europa League was a standard.
I think I'll take...
Europa League, is it the standard?
No, it's not. Over the years, not been the standard. I've never heard a story where Europa League...
Manchester United played in the Europa League for a couple of years. You're saying it's not standard?
No, it's not a standard.
It's a good competition.
That's the second-tier European competition.
It's a top competition.
It's higher than our CAF Champions League.
Let me make the point, Mari. I've followed African Footballer of the Year awards in recent times for a while now. At least from the 90s downward. Come on, I'm not that young. But I've never heard that the best footballer in Africa was determined from a Europa League. I've never heard any season, except you know of any season before. Because the Europa League is more like a second-tier competition. There's always going to be a fell shot. I've never heard of an African player from Sevilla that's won it back to back to back. Chelsea won it. No Chelsea player won from winning the Europa League. That's the conversation from my standard. Well, so the standard for me has always been winning the league or winning the Champions League. Those high-level competition and performances.
All right, so that's the conversation. Do you think there's any stern competition for Victor Osimhen winning the CAF Best Player of the Year?
26 goals last season. Come on, that's already the crown already. You know, it's undeniable. He's undeniably one of the toppest now in Africa. So I think he deserves the award by all means.
All right, so we'll look forward to see what happens. Well, the last Nigerian to win the CAF Best Player of the Year award, guess who? The current chairman of Eyimba Football Club, Kanu Nwankwo, won it in 1999. Right, so we'll take calls as early as possible. 090-2223-1011 and 0817-624-8565. Well, as the FIFA Women's World Cup is just a couple of days away, well, the BBC, of course, drew up a list of players to watch in competition and top 10 stars to look out for. And, of course, Asisa Toshola was listed as part of the players. You know, the top 10 players to look out for in the FIFA Women's World Cup set to start later this weekend, actually, and it's going to be a story we look forward to. Well, the 9 other players include Alexa Putellas of Spain, Sam Kerr of Australia, Ada Hegerberg of Norway, Alex Morgan of the United States, Kira Walsh of England, Alexander Popp of Germany, Marta of Brazil, Wendy Renard of France, and Perry Harder of Denmark. Right, so well, I'm agree that this reached the round of 16 of the competition. Now, looking at the performance of the girls and the fact that there are loads of quality in that side, I would ask again, do we stand a chance?
Well, I think I'm personally impressed with the squad that we have.
They played a friendly game on Saturday, right? On Saturday morning.
Yeah, of course. 7-1 or 8-1, something around
8-1.
8-1. I think well, it speaks volume of the quality that we have. I think of course it's a lower side league in Australia, so it's not something to be proud about. But then, of course, it's not something you get to be disappointed. Rather, secondly, and it's very important that the quality of players that we have. Talking about the likes of Ajubade, Plumpton, Desire. You know, what's her name? Odega, Francesca. I think, of course, we have quite a strong squad, and normally you would expect, of course, this is the kind of squad that will take you at least from the round of 16, at least straight up to the round of 16. Looking at it on paper, you understand? So we can't really determine the performances yet until they enter the pitch and everything. So of course, I'm really looking forward to it, and of course, I'm really hopeful that this squad can actually go far in this competition.
So let's do transfers and then glide all the way to the European scene. According to reports in Belgium, Everton have made necessary steps in seeking to sign Union Saint Galo striker Victor Boniface. He's 22, a forward, scored 22 goals last season in all competitions for the USG team in Belgium. And according to Belgian journalist Sacha Tovaleri, he said that Everton have made an inquiry into the contract situation of Victor Boniface. That can make sense. Well, Emmanuel Dennis has not had a fine time at Nottingham Forest. We hear that the team would allow Dennis to leave the club this summer amidst interest from Leeds United. Dennis had a tough campaign last season, and Forest are prepared to let him go, which Leeds United are aware of. The Premier League side, of course, have got a bloated squad, and they want to let the man, Emmanuel Dennis, leave the club. Well, Blyden, he came into Nottingham Forest with so much quality, so much hype, and so much potential. Was one of Watford's best players that season. Came in, but barely. 10 goals, 6 assists in 33 games. From his standards, a poor campaign.
Yeah, last season, he barely could see 10 goals. Come on. That was the previous season,
Yeah, the previous season,
The previous
rather.
season he scored 10 goals.
Watford, yes.
And it makes a lot of sense. The next season was totally disappointed. But I think one of the biggest problems Dennis had last season was that of Nottingham Forest. The very fact that they were rotating squad. Remember, they bought humongous numbers of footballers at that time. But on the other hand, Emmanuel Dennis is not a cool-headed player for me. He wants to hang on the ball too much, and I've always known it's going to be his band. He was bought high-profile, £20 million, huge amount of money. Last season was a disappointment, and he's being let go, Mari. But the most important aspect, let me just chip it, I don't know if you have it, Mari, would be Kelechi Nwakali. For me, exceptional stuff for him. I'm quite happy because the last time we saw Kelechi Nwakali at the Nations Cup with the former club, it didn't work out for him.
Yeah,
Husker, he had to return and then sacked from that club for playing for Nigeria when he wasn't allowed to move for the Nations Cup. And now I hear that he's moved from, because afterwards he joined a Spanish side, Ponferradina.
Yeah, Ponferradina.
And now he's moved now to GD Chavez, and it makes sense in Portugal. At least there's a step forward. Decent talent, but he's not really explored that talent in European football. Quite sad Nigeria hasn't given him enough opportunity as far as I'm concerned. We only make use of him when the goings are good. When things are bad, we don't invite players. Kelechi Nwakali for me is one that Nigeria should give enough opportunity, and I'm happy he's gotten a new club with a Portuguese top side, Chavez.
Wish the man the very best. He's already 25. Oh my God, how time flies. He joins GD Chavez in Portugal. He's 25. He spent his last 2 seasons at Ponferradina. The former Golden Eagles captain scored once, provided for assist in 36 games for Ponferradina last season. Wish him the very best. Chavez ended 7th last season in the Portuguese division. An interesting story. All right, Joe, as we begin to take calls in Blyden, this man sparked loads of controversy yesterday where he had an interview in RNS's game against Real Betis, or Celta Vigo rather. Yes, 5 goals in the game ended between RNS of Saudi Arabia, Ronaldo's club, and Celta Vigo. Well, let's talk about the statements the man made. Well, first of all, he said that he has closed the door to Europe and he's not going to be rejoining any European country that is done. He didn't end there. He said that European football is declining. Am I agree? And he said only the Premier League is the only league that is still top-notch. Now, a man like Ronaldo spent over 20 years playing in Europe. Is saying that European football is declining. What do you make of the statement?
I think it's just normal Ronaldo talks to me. I think, of course, the man has a lot of influence. You can't deny that. You can see how important his movement is. Immediately he left to Saudi Arabia, a lot of top players joined him. You can see the likes of Robert Neves, Jota, and what's his name? You can see the likes of even coaches, Gerrard as well. So I think, to me, he's one of the most, if not the most.
Now, Blyden, I don't know. I just want to be petty. I want to be petty.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know you can be.
Yeah, I love to be petty sometimes. Now, he's saying that's because of him that players are joining the Saudi Arabia League.
Nobody can deny that fact. Ronaldo is a major factor in the movement in Saudi Arabia.
He was a magnet. It's like having a magnet, and if Ronaldo can go there, so who am I? So it causes that attraction. That's basically big money move, £175 million he earned, and it's a conversation.
So where's the place of the money that the Saudis offered players?
It's part of it, Mari. But the first attraction is this. That's why they started with Cristiano Ronaldo. Imagine a conversation where Ronaldo first joined the Saudi League. Everyone said, oh, he's done and dusted, it's finished. But we saw the project began to happen. Before now, the direction, people were going to China. There was money there. But you could see some top players. When Chinese come for you, you look at it with a second thought. But right now, it seemed like the money spinning league attraction. After that early criticism for Cristiano Ronaldo, it becomes a normal thing now. At some point, I even felt, if Saudi comes now, maybe Maradona might leave me and go to Saudi Arabia. But thank God, you made an official statement that you're not leaving, and I'm holding you to your word.
I didn't say anything.
I think the place of the money is quite important as well, because if you look at Europe, Rashford is about to enter 170,000 a week. That's a big money. And of course, some of these players moving over to Saudi Arabia, they're not even earning as much as that. So I think the money plays a major role, and as well, you can see the way the stars.
So we should give it to Ronaldo that he's the one that has motivated players to join Saudi Arabia.
I don't think there's any other motivation.
All right, that's what.
Yeah, he's a huge motivation.
True.
Yeah.
He said that the Saudi League is better than the MLS.
Well, for me, no difference. As far as I'm concerned, no difference. But Ronaldo said it's better. I would love to agree with him, but come on. Lionel Messi is at the other side, the MLS. It's a strong league.
That was what I was just thinking about.
First of all, it sounds like banter.
Yeah.
Right, it sounds like banter.
Let us see if other players will go to MLS as well.
Now, so
let us watch out.
Wait,
other players will go to MLS.
What are the indices to measure a league which is better?
Well,
first of all,
quality.
The quality of football played, the eyes seeing those leagues, right? Number of eyes, number of attention, number of viewership, followership the league gets, right?
Attraction, yeah.
The attraction. That's secondly, and then the names in that league. So, place the Saudi League and the MLS within these parameters, which is better, I agree.
I think what Saudi Arabia has been able to do over the past 5 to 6 years, I think it's completely incredible. Attracting big names, bringing in good players. I think at a point the UEFA president even came in and said that whatever they're doing, that it's not going to work for them, and all that.
As UEFA even got scared at some point.
You understand, saying that they need to develop their academies, need to bring in younger players, stop bringing in players at their end of their career. But look at what is happening now. You're having players at their prime moving over there. I don't think I've heard of that in recent times with the MLS. Always finished men going to the MLS. Take a look at David Beckham when he was already finished at the end of his career. Leonardo, what was this Italian?
Chicharito left when he was like 28, 29?
Chicharito was already almost 30 when he left to LA Galaxy. Of course. Look at what's his name, Bale. He went there just to go and play golf and came back again, couple of matches and left because it was not even up to his quality. So you can see, this is not even a matter of comparison. To me, the US, I think, they don't really place that, focus on that sport. I think they are not really interested in it, and of course, they don't even call it football. It's already so.
Amari, while the query is for Saudi, let me be for MLS.
Really?
Let's go back to history. Over the years, come on, Diego Armando Maradona went to the MLS. Over the years, the greatest footballer in the world, Pelé, played in the MLS, changed the narrative of football.
Yeah, 300.
Where was Saudi in that period? So Saudi just came on board, and that's bringing money here and there. The MLS, yes, there's money, but they weren't doing the way Saudi were. Come on, when we talk about active player, Obafemi Martins of Nigeria went to MLS at a point of his prime. So for me, it's here and there, same similar attraction, not much difference. But right now, if you want to talk about momentum and the impact at the moment, momentum impact, yeah, I'll give it to Saudi Arabia. But over the years, it's been MLS.
All right. So we're taking calls in 090-222-31011 and 0817-624-8565. Ekuri is going to check if you're streaming live on Facebook. Otherwise, to just hang on the phone lines. All right, so let's talk about more transfer stories. Well, it's confirmed. Andre Onana has agreed. Well, United rather have agreed a £47.2 million bid for Andre Onana from Inter Milan. The Old Trafford club will pay £43.8 million up front for the man, with an additional £3.4 million in add-ons. United hope he'll be able to join them in the upcoming tour at the USA, although they have to arrange a visa for the 27-year-old goalkeeper. Well, he joins on a Standards are quite high. Of course, irrespective of how the guest final few days have been for United, he kept 190 clean sheets at United in the space of 12 years, and he made 545 appearances for the club. Now, Onana has got to do a lot. Apart from making saves, he has to pass the ball, he has to play the ball. Is he ready, fit and ready, to fill into the big shoes left by the great David De Gea?
Well, this morning I saw a headline that shocked me, Mari, and the headline was Manchester United's best passer of the ball is by the post. Well, we get to find out how that gets to play out, because the last time the brother best passer of the ball never worked out. I've always talked about it. But big pressure for Andre Onana. Yeah. David De Gea made lots of stunning saves. Andre Onana better make those saves. Otherwise, his ball playing skill is nonsense.
Is in the mud now.
That's the conversation.
That's the conversation, because right now, we're saying yes, he can pass the ball, yes, he can play the ball, but we're forgetting that the primary duty of a goalkeeper is to stop shots, make saves, keep clean sheets as much as possible. And secondly, he's not English, he's not European. So any slight mistake rather, the BBC, the Daily Mail, the Sky Sports will roast you dry.
Andre Onana is aware of what he's getting himself into.
Sure?
He's very much aware. Because I think, of course, before you make that kind of move, of course, you're gonna talk to people. You're gonna see the history. You're gonna make your research. You're gonna know what you're getting yourself into. Coming to a club like Manchester United with a lot of fan base around the world, I think, of course, you believe in your abilities. And before you can say the club letting someone like De Gea go and not even trying to make him a backup or anything, I think, of course, it also shows that it also shows the faith that the club has on the keeper.
Right.
And I think it's very important, because to me, I'm not even pressuring him. I don't have any expectations personally on Andre Onana this period, but I just believe that, okay, no matter how it goes, with time, he will know what he's getting himself into.
Now, Vladimir, his African brother, what does he need to sparkle at United?
Well, before I talk about that, Aquarius says he's got no expectations. Don't worry, let him concede the first goal first. We'll know the expectations afterwards. But African brother, I want him to succeed at Manchester United. Especially I've seen Onana's growth, especially from Ajax. After that incident where with missing drugs or something thereabout, there was some issues. About 8 months, he was suspended. Then after he returned, I've seen Onana perform for Cameroon. Decent footballer, decent goalkeeper. I want him to progress. The very fact that Eric Ten Hag gets to trust him makes a lot of sense, since that shows that the man is good. I want to see him replicate the form I saw him with at Ajax Amsterdam. I want to see him pass the ball the way he passed at Inter Milan. Showed class and dominance at Manchester United. But at the end of it, the pressure in the English Premier League is even worse.
I think to me, I believe I think he would have little or less issues, because looking at it last season, David De Gea had the highest clean sheet in the Premier League, up to 12 clean sheets or so.
Yeah.
And this is not just the work of the goalkeeper. You also have the defense there, and you also have the rest of the players working towards this. So I think, to me, of course, we have good defense. It's quite a decent defense, of course. Then I think, to me, he'll be able to cope with it.
Mari, let me add this. Imagine Andre Onana with the big Harry at the back, passing the ball. Excitement.
I prefer drama. Good afternoon, welcome to the show. Let's take calls. Aye. Welcome. Yeah, if you're welcome.
I want us to look at it in this angle too. Was the problem of Manchester United the game was doing the work of saving ball, and Manchester United always, I don't even know, they are always behind the big force in their play. The likes of Liverpool, the likes of Man City, the likes of Arsenal. So for me, I don't think going for ball playing goalkeeper, when you don't have a good defender that can even play the ball, is a problem. Anyway,
oh, thank you very much. Now, that's a very cool gents question. Was David De Gea United's biggest problem last season? Because we're talking about the man who won the Golden Glove at the end of last season. In the midst of all of the talk of him being so bad and being so terrible, he won the Golden Glove. So, was he United's problem last season? That's how we agree.
When what's his name? The manager came in.
Ten Hag
came in. There were a lot of issues with the club. One was Ronaldo coming out, to the media and saying all those things about the club. To me, I think he has been able to handle that. He has been able to handle the situations in the club very well. I think to me he has seen that there are a lot of problems at the club, and I don't believe that David De Gea was one of the issues with the club. He was a legend. He is a legend, of course. He played very.
So why are United fans seeing Onana as the saving grace?
Marizona, football is all about revolution. Football revolves. It comes and goes. Okay, and of course, in the past 6 to 7 years, De Gea has been unstoppable. Won Players' Player of the Award, best player in the team, best player of the team, Golden Gloves and all that. But looking at it, his style of playing football at the back, at the goalpost, isn't valid anymore. You need a good ball playing goalkeeper. No matter, even if he's not that acrobatic or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But it's very important that the goalkeeper can see the players running, can see the players moving, can see the players in space, and be able to do that. And of course, no one can deny the fact that, of course, Andre Onana is a better person than De Gea than that. Eric Ten Hag has been able to deal with most of the issues that Manchester United had coming into the team. The Gea issue, stripped Maguire of the captaincy, and now De Gea. So I think he's been working pretty well.
So I'm gonna get out to the welcome.
Around the club finance in Nigeria conducted their election yesterday this week. My thanks to them is to educate their fans to talk legalism. Then that Trump syndrome must stop. I'm glad to see the United and the Renaissance officials in this common and secretary position. Now, sporting nation Lagos need to be fine. Not only their coach, their supporters. What is this? I don't like it. Again, man, coming to this Kano one call. I like the supervision rule of the people developer. I do want to bring professionalism, but every time to try. My point to him is to pay the backlog of salary.
You're right.
And I like that a lot of this work has to be additional.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Top Gunner. Right, so while still talking transfers, Blyden, this is for you. Chelsea's £70 million bid for Moises Caicedo has been rejected out of hand, as a matter of fact, by Brighton. One source has told Sky Sports that Brighton valued Caicedo for £100 million. And the story is that they've decided to raise the bar because of what the Swans now spend on Declan Rice. And it baffles me. Is it that Brighton are comparing, Moises Caicedo and Declan Rice are putting both players on the same pedestal? Because Chelsea are thinking whether to go back on the offer or begin talks with another midfielder. Now, Blyden, Declan Rice, Moises Caicedo, are both players at the same pedestal right now, quality-wise?
No, not much difference. Maybe you might just say one is a little bit more experienced as he's played for England over time. He's had how many caps? Up to 30 caps thereabout, and that counts for something. But the Ecuadorian is equally fantastic. That's a conversation from my standpoint.
Right.
And that's why many clubs were chasing him. Manchester United were part of that mix. Chelsea part of that mix. The only reason Manchester United couldn't go for it, they don't have money. And over time, the worry of black players had a function in the team. Recently, we've seen the performance of Elanga with that side. So it's quite the conversation from Manchester United point of view. But Chelsea, they're stuck with Caicedo deal now because we've sold all their midfielders. They have to sort it out. And when you are in that mix, and you're Brighton, come on. I love what the smaller clubs are doing, Arizona. They're not really interested with want-away players from top clubs. That's why Manchester United is still struggling to sell their players. They're interested now in going into other areas in world football, like South America, discover the talent, raise them.
Especially Brighton.
Absolutely, make a lot of money from them at the end of it. You might call it exploitation from different angle, but this is clear-cut way of looking at business critically and doing it. And I think Moises Caicedo at £100 million is not a bad deal.
Agree.
It's a very bad deal. I think it's not going to work. Nobody's going to pay more than 70 million for Caicedo. Caicedo has, he's a very good player. He's a versatile player. Can play midfield, can play right back, can play left back.
Yeah.
Very, very utility player. But then, if West Ham is collecting 100 million for Declan Rice, of course he has accolades to show for that.
What are the accolades?
The Conference League. He just won the Conference League.
So what? Brighton did quite well, last season.
Win the Conference League now.
Brighton did quite well.
You can't compare.
No,
to me, it's not possible. You can't even do that kind of comparison because over the years, more than 4 years now, Declan Rice's name has been wrong, has been sung, for a while now.
I know you have a thing for this is Declan Rice.
Now, Blyden, let's look at it.
No,
I want to hear,
worth.
Mary, before you comment.
Caicedo
I want to
is
hear
worth.
why he's saying Caicedo isn't worth it, but Declan Rice is worth it.
Yeah.
I have just made my point clear.
Is it because he's
Rice is
English
a way better player.
and this one is black?
No, it's not better. That's all sentiment.
What makes Rice a better player than Moses Caicedo?
What can they do?
Let's start from there.
Personally, I don't think it's even a question that you should be asking.
Well, it's a question.
I'm asking, so just help me answer the question.
Rice is a better ball player. He's a better ball carrier. He's a better defensive player. He can give the final third passes. He can lead the team.
More like an all-rounder.
Listen to me. You're asking for options. He can lead the team. He can bring the change to the team. Caicedo has little or less. He has little or less impact at Brighton. Of course, he's a good player. Nobody can decide that.
For me.
But
I think
let him be done.
To me, I think he's not the kind of player you should spend 100 million on and expecting much or expecting something good.
Now, Blyden, this teenager left Ecuador some 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Burst into the scene, had a remarkable season and all of that. Yeah, fantastic performer and all of that. But this is the Premier League, right? And then he's proved himself in 2 seasons so far. Yeah. Do you think he is the same pedestal as Declan Rice?
Mari, I do not see the pedestal of Declan Rice. The only difference is Declan Rice is playing for England. That's it.
He's English.
Yeah, if he was playing for Ecuador, it wouldn't be the same conversation. We know the things that happen with an English player. I'm not saying he's not a good player. He's a good player. And what I love about Declan Rice, let me start from there, has been the fact that he's been able to show that leadership. He's been a captain of West Ham for a while now, at a young age.
Let's look at Caicedo's stats. Tackles, 100 tackles.
Yeah.
Second, interceptions, 56 interceptions. That's the second in the Premier League so far. Possessions, one in the middle third, 142 interceptions. Touches, 2,735. And passes completed 1,161. That's the sixth in the Premier League. And that's the start. And a few of them bettered by Declan Rice.
Mari, if Moses Caicedo was English, Moses Caicedo would go for 120 million pounds.
Moses Caicedo is not worth 120 pounds. Brighton are just trying to take advantage of the fact that
he's Ecuadorian. That's it.
They're just trying to take advantage of the fact that English clubs are ready to spend money.
And Chelsea are desperate.
You understand? So you don't just take.
Good afternoon, Arizona.
Welcome. Great, check Facebook for us, please.
What a great afternoon to be back. Good afternoon, Emmanuel and Clarence. Arizona, your talking is really being so clear. Let me react about the Saudi Arabia, their multi-season. So it has been a shocking moment and wondering fans are really imagining what could have Saudi Arabia could see for some of the key players. Yeah.
Victor, please do you want to call us back? Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. All right, so well, for the Chelsea fans, well, it doesn't look like things are going to end well already because West Ham Fofana has had a surgery after injuring his anterior cruciate ligament in his knee. And according to a Chelsea statement, his 22 did not travel to America for the club's preseason tour due to the surgery. Wish him speedy recovery. Good afternoon. Welcome to the show, football fan.
Good afternoon, Marizona.
Yes, welcome.
Good afternoon, your fellow community. John is on the line.
Welcome, John. It's been a while, John.
It's not easy connecting you guys.
Oh, my brother. Welcome today.
Good afternoon. I will start with Onana. You see, people make it look as if Onana is not so good. If you watch what happened at the Champions League final, you remember at a certain point, for dismantled Inter's defense and met him one-on-one and could not score. I believe you could recall.
Yeah, I remember. Drove in, glided in, and hit it. Onana saved it.
Very good. And it was a one catch. It wasn't a parry or the ball slipped off. A one catch. So that's a very good sign of a good goal. Then on the issue of French League is better, the Major League Soccer and the Saudi Arabian League. is so controversial. How can you take us back to 1970 something where Pelé played there and Maradona did this and that? Why was talking of the present day? If you go by the present statistics, names and whatsoever, the Saudi Arabian league is better, for at least for today.
At least for today.
Yes, at least for today.
I did also agree with that.
Yeah.
Today, yes.
Yeah. All right, John.
One of that guy made a very good point. In Abia State, where we come from, I'm from there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things happening in the government. So what they are trying to do is that they kind of clean up. So
Right.
everyone and the board, they know what the governor wants, and that is the script they are writing. Okay.
Thank you so much, John from Arochiko. All right, take us to Facebook before we talk with transfers.
All right, this is from our Facebook page, our Facebook official page, Planet 101.1 FM, with you, the one with the blue tick. And we're going to take some comments from here. We have from Ozo Francis Namani, says, greetings, watching live from Amagunze in Enugu State. Greetings from here. Greetings to you. Bakayoku Patowski. Good afternoon, sports crew. Watching live from Lagos. I wish my team Chelsea the best of luck in their pre-season tour in USA. I also wish for Fana a quick recovery from injury. And this is from Ian Mike Jr. It says, good PM sports crew. Blyden, I completely disagree with you. Even current MPL is better than MLS in terms of footballing.
I don't start.
League where they know they relegate person for football is not football, I beg. And please,
That's why it's soccer.
My team, Man U, should be fast in the Holland deal. Thank you. This is from Bobby McG. Happy times, sport lovers at Planet FM. I stand with you saying that you want Onana to be successful in Manchester United. I love the African spirit. Gracias. Abasifrego Odofia says, good afternoon, Planet FM, watching from Asaba. Nice to be with you too. Thank you very much.
All right, let's head back to the phone lines. 090-2223-1011 and 0817-624-8565. Well, Ange Postecoglou's first game as the Tottenham Hotspur coach did not end as planned. Matter of fact, ended in premium classic worthy tears. Good afternoon. Welcome to the show.
Hello, good afternoon.
Welcome. Sounds like comrade. Good afternoon, comrade.
I think when we talk of happening with Casino, raising your asking price to 100 million and comparing with the rest, the fact is that they don't want to spend, not because it's so good or this. When you have a retiring player and you don't want to say you can price out of the person that is want to buy it, I think that is what I'm saying, because if ordinary, it wouldn't have gone so there should be something of around 65 million pounds or 70. But as I said, I think more God will come and they are now opening it for more from the fraction. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Comrade Sylvester, for talking to us. Postecoglu suffered defeat in his first game in charge of Tottenham as West Ham won a preseason friendly 3 goals to 2 in Australia. Skamaka scored a 78-minute winner as Spurs had fought back from 2-0 to make it 2-2. But that was just a story. 2 goals he scored on the night. Good afternoon. Welcome to the show. All right, if you have 25 seconds this time.
Anytime you are comparing two players, you should also understand why these players are being sent from the club they are playing. If you are looking for this, I think you should go for national assembly to come to the club and play.
I didn't get that. I didn't get that. Please say that. I didn't get that.
If you want to sign a leader, go to national assembly. You can't hire any of Kano and the rest of them. They are really put it as there. If you are looking for a player, a defensive player, I think we should consider Mr. Kaiser. I don't want to get dementia. I hear declarations that people from Chelsea Academy. They see the Brazil. I really think that guy was American. He would have gone for nothing less than 150 million pounds. The guy is far more better than Declan. Forget the hype and forget the issue of leadership. Declan, the Britain can do better than Declan. But the Brighton cannot do without the services of if Chelsea needs a defensive midfielder, then they should pay whatever amount I can demand for Mr. Kaiser. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. I know you guys didn't get what he said. He said, one of the reasons for picking Declan Rice is that he's a leader.
Yeah.
And he says, if you're looking for a leader, go to the National Assembly. Obedience. And there's a new man in the block playing that midfield role for them so far. His name is Spots, and he's paired up with Downs. Young stars, actually, but they've done remarkable jobs so far in that Western midfield. So maybe Declan Rice, no Declan, no problem. Good afternoon, welcome.
Hello guys, my name is Michael.
I didn't get your name.
I said my name is Michael.
All right, Michael, welcome.
Alright, so I think Declan Rice is better than Moise in three aspects only. One is played longer in England. Two, he's taller. Three, you think that's all, nothing else.
All right, those are football reasons, actually. Right, so more transfer stories as we bounce this afternoon. We hear Tottenham striker Harry Kane played, by the way, against West Ham. Does not want to join PSG this summer, and he believes that he's open to a move to join Bayern Munich. We talked about the, marriage analogy yesterday. It's been a back and forth so far. We hope that both parties secure some level of agreement. And here Tottenham could make a move for Ivan Toney next year, and that's after the man's deal ends. He's going to be the replacement for Harry Kane. That's the story. But we hear that Nasser Al-Khelaifi, the PSG president, will have to sit face to face with Mbappe for the first time and discuss with him and ask him, what exactly do you want? Well, it's back and forth, but the PSG board should understand that this boy wants to go. Forget about this meeting face to face.
Well, I think they know. He's just trying to convince the boy, come on, you have to be sold this season. Or probably maybe try to convince him to stay and extend his deal, and afterwards he could be sold with some prize money. But let me add a little for Harry Kane's conversation, Mary. One of the mix we've not really talked about is that Manchester United had come into the conversation, the picture, and told Harry Kane, if you stay and complete your deal next season, we're coming for you for free. And it could be a conversation, something Harry Kane might love to, if he doesn't want to go abroad to play football, if he wants to stick in England. No bigger club in English football than Manchester United. But for Kylian Mbappe and Paris Saint-Germain, I think they'll be okay.
They'll be all right. 090-2223-1011 and 0817-624-856. Burnley and Leicester City, along with Sheffield United, are looking to sign Amad Diallo from Manchester United on loan. Good afternoon. Welcome to the show. Yes. Yes, welcome.
I'm Mike from Ukraine.
Just go ahead, Mike.
About the Declan Rice was considered golf. For me, all about the process of that is something playing in the defensive process of, because the way West Ham play, they play defensive football. That can plays a huge football, an attacking football. So for me, I'll go for Caicedo instead of Rice. And Caicedo, if the guy wants more than 100 million, if they can sell 20 years for 100 million and Rice 100 million, I think he's worth 100 million.
Thank you very much. Well, Chelsea's preseason starts tomorrow by 10 p.m. They take on Wrexham at the Kenan Stadium in the USA. They've got a game against Brighton at 12 midnight at the US on July 23rd. Well, as at that time, we don't know if Declan Rice, not Declan Rice right now, Moises Caicedo will be playing for Brighton or Chelsea. It's going to be interesting. July 27th, they've got a game against Newcastle by 1:15 a.m. July 30th, they have a game against Fulham by 7:45. And August 3rd, the final preseason game will be against Dortmund by 12:30 a.m. And Gladys sent me the list of players that are set to the Chelsea preseason squad. I would love to read them out. 5 goalkeepers. Their names go thus: Kepa Arrizabalaga, Gabriel, Luka, Eddie Beach, and Thiago Silva, Trevor Chalobah, Ben Chilwell, Marco Correa, Malo Gusto, the man joining from Lyon, Bashu Humphries, Levi Colwill, Ian Martin, and Alfie Gilchrist. There's no Benoit Badiashile in this list.
He's injured.
All right.
That's why he's not joined the side. Broja also injured.
Armando Broja.
Reece James won't be part of it too.
Yeah, there's no Reece James too. That's a funny story. For the midfielders, it's Enzo Fernandez, Conor Gallagher, Kani Chukwuemeka, Andre Santos, Cesare Casade, and Lewis Hall. For the forwards, we're talking Mikhailo Modric, Raheem Sterling, Chukwu Nonso, Noni Madueke, Angelo Gabriel, Diego Moreira, Nicholas Jackson, Christopher Nkunku, Mason Busto, and Dujon Sterling. back on the phone lines. Good afternoon. Welcome, Victor, again.
Hello, Arizona.
Yes.
Yeah, let me talk about the things we are talking about the England. Nana coming to Manchester United, let me say that the record some of the Europe clubs are really scared because the way I view my own football from Europe, it is the league that all of us are watching and it showcase players. But in terms of the money aspect and others, I don't really know. That's why even some of the key players who go to Saudi Arabia to play, they say because of money. So for my team, Chelsea, they are signing on the market because Chelsea are not doing so much market the way I expect to sign on good players. But let them try their play and prepare before they even go kick start by next month. That's my take. Thank you, fam.
Thank you very much for talking to us. Right, so letting us reset you bounce some more transfer stories as we move on from here. Ethan Ampadu is set to join Leeds United from Chelsea. He's just 22. He's gone on several loan deals, but never worked out. Good afternoon, Walker. Yeah, if you're as we bounce.
Yes, I'm afraid. I'm scared about reject because I'm supposed to get the prison of USA. It's very dangerous. I don't know what is wrong with that one. Now the good is and it's coming to fight for a place. So I'm very scared and I'm chilling for the result. Thank you, darling.
Well, thank you very much. For United, it looks like they have a striker. Rasmus Højlund is his name. We hear United have agreed personal terms with the star and will submit a bid very soon. The agreement and contract has been sealed on a long-term deal. Højlund said they said to be super keen on the move. United are preparing their first official bid for the man. Price of the suit will be around 70 million euros. But United hope negotiations can help to reduce it. And we know that they have to not go beyond their cap.
They have 20 million left. So they're pricing and keeping.
Tell God, good afternoon. Yes, tell God.
Alana, I'm not trying to control money. Black players don't make it. What happened to Ghana may happen to Alana, which is going to find you. So, Mrs. Cantero comparing with this guy, the general, what is that ahead? What is the figure of Cantero? He's an upcoming player. So, you can't compare with him. You can't wear the shoe of the general. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you very much, Top Gunner, for talking to us. Somebody finally cites Declan Rice, and it's an interesting conversation. Well, Ryan Giggs, former United star, of course, his retrial on charges of domestic violence will not go ahead this month after prosecutors pulled out in the case. Well, Giggs, one of the greatest modern day players in British history, was due to go on trial for a second time starting July 31st, accused of controlling and coercive behavior towards his former girlfriend, Kate Greville, between August 2017 and November 2020. Giggs was also accused of assaulting her as well as assaulting Greville's sister, Emma, during an argument at his home outside Manchester in November 2020. He denied the charges and underwent a month-long trial ending in August when the jury failed to reach any verdict. And 2 weeks before the scheduled start of the retrial, prosecutor Peter Wright told the Manchester Crown Court on Tuesday that prosecution would not be going ahead with the case. Let's talk about his football career. 23 years played at United, won 13 Premier League titles, 2 Champions League titles, and made 963 appearances for the club. Leaving. Any parting shots?
Yeah, typically. Let me just talk about Aubameyang. I think he's been in around the top.
Going to France.
Yeah, going to France, Olympic Marseille. Let's just hope he concludes the deal and leave Chelsea for good. He's been a torrid time at Chelsea for him.
Thank you so much, Igor, for being a part of the conversation.
Always a pleasure, my brother.
All right, so that's it. We'll be back tomorrow, 7:30 to 8 and 3 to 4 p.m. Do all to enjoy the rest of the day's broadcast. My name is Mariziona Ikure, and Blyden came together. We're saying ciao, ciao, adios. See you tomorrow. We outside.